Hello. Hello. How are we doing today? I have a can of Pepsi that I've just opened. I'm happy. So today we're doing two legs in this thing, the E170, which looks fine. It's a jet. It looks fine. There's no obvious problems. It's derpy as hell, though. I also have a new add-on called XP Realistic, which causes some head shake to happen. But let's get this show on the road. We'll start off by showing the route that we'll be taking, which is over here. We're going to be heading out of the airport and then heading straight to Impox, down to Miron, over towards, or past Tikar, down to Beryl, and then Vohid, and it's going to be the Vohid 1 Delta we'll be taking in, or 1 Victor? Should be the 1 Delta, surely. No, it's the 1 Victor. I might have filed that wrong. Why are you not staying on top, Restream chat? Appearance? No, always on top. Is that the SSG? Yes, it's the SSG. It's memes. It's hilarious. It's terrible. So let's get this plane starting up at the very least. I told you it was memes! I didn't do that intentionally! Well, I guess now we've got the plane started. I didn't really intend for that, but okay. 1228. Squawk will be 2000. Flying IFR today. And performance. We need to do all this kind of stuff. We're just gonna load GPS 1 position, and our route is Fox Sierra India. Do I have? I do not have. Ooh. That's actually kind of convenient. Fox Sierra India Alpha to. What's our first leg of the day? Where's this? To Fox Mike Charlie Hotel. Our flight ID is Golf Romeo Delta. Where's Whiskey? Tango. Next, and we're going. You see, Trav? We're going direct Impox. IMPOX. Then via Tango 139 to Miron. Then direct, it's a 400-mile direct to Beryl.
Hello, Dave. Dave there.
Thank you very much for subscribing, Sandris M2. After Beryl, it's Upper November 305 to Vohid. And that's the end of our route, effectively. Relatively short route for 800 nautical miles. Now it's nav. Performance initialization. Climb. Cost index, if this is going to work, it usually doesn't, is 5. If it'll let me, it will not let me. That's fine. Clear. Actually, maybe there's performance plan. No. Performance data. No, that's not going to work either. Okay, takeoff, runway heading. If I go into performance, no, nav, departure 13, and just activate that straight away. Performance data. Our takeoff should now have our heading. Runway slope is negligible. Wind 126 at 9. Takeoff data. We're gonna go climb 1. On takeoff data set. Enter. Thrust rating select. Okay, so I can't remember how this plane works. It's really good. Perf in it. Not gonna have a step. Initial cruising altitude is 32,000. That's correct. Transition altitude, I'm gonna guess 6,000 is correct. Data. It's takeoff, and it's going to be page 2. Flaps 2 is going to be our takeoff flaps. And our V speeds, which I have calculated using a handy dandy calculator right here, which is lovely. Our 135, 143. 147 and 197. Climbing, top climb altitude is 32,000. That's gonna want to work. Nope, because I need to set cruise at 32,000. No, what am I doing wrong here? Take off. No, it's climb 320. This thing works in a really weird way. Will 320 going here? No. Performance plan. Performance init. 32,000. So now if I go into climb, it should have, there we go, fantastic. Cruise is fine, descent is fine, and arrival is set when we get there. So we need to set our takeoff stab trim, which is +2.
Trim.
It won't let me go past 1.8, so that's fine, I guess. Nozzle steering is already set. And we'll need flaps 2. Hey Welsh and Luke. So we'll just wait for the flaps and slats to come in here. We can watch as they are on the move. And I can turn off the FSE macro because I'm not using FSE today. Or right now, at least. Flaps and slats seem to be in place. Yep.
No takeoff. Brake.
Okay, so it's just a brake warning on takeoff. V2 is 135, so we'll set 135 into our speed here. I apologize for the clicks. This is literally how this plane works. Oh, it doesn't have scroll mode on. Scroll mode, please. QNH is 1011. And initial climb, I'll say we'll leave it at 100. our runway heading is 13 is 130 on the heading. If it makes you guys feel any better, this hurts me too. Just got done mowing and weeding, very nice. Seatbelt lights on, nose and side taxi lights are on. Strobe should not be on just yet. We are, I think, good to get on the move. Exit to RTO. And let's get this plane moving away from the VIP hangar, or the VIP parking stand. There we go. So you'll notice the camera's doing a wobbly. That's literally the way that XP Realistic works. It's kind of looking around the corner that I'm doing, which is very nice. Just keeping an eye on my my speed here, because I don't want to be doing much more than about 10 knots. For this taxi, it's only short. Just verify takeoff.
Takeoff okay.
Takeoff okay. We are good to take off. And we need to go into radio. And set hurrah. Get the landing lights. Oh, the landing lights were already on. We'll get the strobe light on. Taxing a touch fast. We'll be good. Set VNAV.
Approaching 1-3.
Set LNAV, which is literally somewhere that I can't find right now, but that's fine.
On runway 13.
Lined up on the runway. 40% achieved. Set takeoff thrust set. Achieved.
$80 knots.
80 knots, cross-checked.
V1. VR.
Rotate.
V2.
Was right, gear up. I want VNAV. Nav. There we go, not an intercept heading. Oh, it's doing this again. Are you serious? I'm gonna have to manually head myself out towards Nessid. Pull in the flaps. Get autopilot going as well as auto throttle. Speed from the FMS, please. And we'll just choose autopilot, please. Choose 320 straight away. somewhere close. .320, and we're gonna have to set a heading. Of... We're gonna want to go... Oh no, we're gonna want to go south. Let's go 150 heading hold. LNAV armed. That's a bit of an aggressive turn. We're actually going to want to keep going around on the heading. Bank. Good grief. We want to go about
altimeter setting.
Altimeter set standard. Hey, sideways. Are those the weapons? There are no weapons on this plane. It's just that it's incredibly shouty. What I can do is I can pick up Cute Scoop. And you can see ourselves right here, Golf Romeo Delta Whiskey Tango, coming out of the Seychelles. We're heading over to here, to FMCH. I think I can also do with Cute Scoop. I've started using this as opposed to VAT Spy. So if I bring up my plane here... Yes. Can I plot the route? No. No, it won't let me. Okay. Are we now in LNAV? Nope, we need to go... Let's disable bank, because it's just not turning aggressively enough. Now I need about 240. And that should kick LNAV. Come on, LNAV. Nav. Nah, not an intercept. I am on an intercept heading. I can see it. So, this is apparently not an intercept heading, which is slightly concerning. So through 110 we can turn off the landing lights and the nose lights. The rest of the lights can remain on. Seatbelt sign can come off now. And I want to just verify flaps up, speed brake is back, auto brake off, gear up and locked. Fantastic. Was a reference? Okay. I don't know the reference. I wonder, is it that I've got to actually go... I'm gonna try something here that might not work. This bank is insane! It's at half bank. Good grief. If I intercept like this... Top gear? Okay. If I intercept like this, because I'm heading direct intercept to the actual path that I'll need now. And oh, we have sea tiles. Interesting. I'm just kind of monitoring a few things right now, so I might not be the best to chat. I also want to, just for my own sake, Cute Scoop, down a bit and over to here. Okay, we're now on an intercept heading. We're now most definitely on an intercept heading at Impox. Do you want to maybe one of these days take over Elnav? Or am I going to... Oh no, we're not quite there. So we should intercept this in a moment. Because about a 210 radio going off here. Also, I forgot to start the chrono. Oh, it started itself. Fantastic. Was that Elnav kicking? No, there was something kicking, but I'm not sure what. Okay. We have to start turning the heading now. Bank, you get. I've over. No, we're gonna need to turn faster because I've undercooked the turn. There's our intercept. It's finally deciding we're on intercept heading. Can we go direct to Miron? Whoa! Oh, Elnav's just kicked in. Okay, let's go half bank now. So it might faff about around. That's heading direct to Miron. That is the turn to Miron. Because FMS1 is now showing Miron. Progress page. Yeah, we're heading next Miron. Top of climb in 27 nautical miles. Or 4 minutes. Something's not right with the destination. Let me just throw in the arrival here real quick. It's expecting. I'm guessing it's going to want a runway 2. Yeah, let's go ILS runway 2. That's the Yankee. Via HAI. Forward transition on that. Activate that. Progress page should now show. That's better. ET of 2 hours. Hey Bailey, how you doing today, dude? Quick double checks here. Just for my own sake. 2000 Tarat 22.8, 22.8. Don't know why I've mimicked 122.8 on both, but I've got 22.8 on both. 256 on standard, 256 on standard, that's fine. Then we'll be entering cruise momentarily. Oh, this uses, yeah, this uses Dream Engine. Annoyingly, why are they at 50%? Is that not? Kind of. 2:09 a.m. Good night, Bailey. You are insane for watching at that hour. He says knowing well, full well. Yeah, I say that. I do the same thing. I did the exact same thing. Upper panel's okay. That's all okay. Can make the MFDs a bit brighter and the ICAS and PFD. It's all fine. Pitch up 0.8. Trim 27.5. Climbing 320. And this is going to be about a 2-hour flight. The next one's going to be about half an hour. Actually, what's the block time on flight 2? 320 again. Block time on flight 2 is 1 hour 40. Wow. You have work at 7 in the morning. Dude, go to bed! Go, lights maximized. I am flying with fictional time for one simple reason, and it's something that I can actually show off with Cute Scoop. And that is very basically that this flight, if I was doing it in real time, would be actually at night. There's the day-night Terminator on the Earth. There's where we are. We're at night. Here's Ireland. It's in the daytime. And I'm using Cute Scoop mainly because the ATC boundaries are a bit more better. In Vatson, they're a bit rough and ready. There we go. Through 300, hitting over to Mach 0.74, so we're accelerating a small bit. Flying to Australia, Melbourne. In real life, Bailey, or like, are you asking if I'm doing that? I'm not flying to Melbourne today. I will be eventually. Today's flights are to the Comoros Islands, which is where we're heading now. Then on to Tanzania. So if I bring this up. This is our endpoint, Julius Nyerere International Airport in Tanzania. But first, we've got to stop off at Aeroport International Prince Said Ibrahim in the beautiful Comoros Islands, which I do have some ortho for. Or just after leaving the Seychelles, which I don't have ortho for because they're so bloody small I couldn't see them in the ortho map. So we left from here, exactly here, went up around here and took off in this direction. Taking off from taking off over the airport, the Seychelles Airport beach. I'll be flying down. It'll be mainly sea, I'm afraid, until we reach the Comoros Islands, and we'll be overflying the island by the looks of it, and landing at the airport then. How did I change the range on this? There we go. Yes, thank you for the 1,000 to go warning. Holy cow, that was loud. So we are now going to be cruising for the remainder of our flight. And there's a vibration for some reason. Alright. Calm down, XP Realistic. This is literally my second flight with XP Realistic. The first one was just seeing what happens if a crash landed. It does interesting things, as it turns out. So the landings are going to be fun to watch. But we're going to be in some lovely tropical weather. Heading all the way down. Or it should be tropical at least. Let me just check active sky. Conditions, no flight, no map. Don't want NASA's blue mark. There we go. Yeah, we'll have some clouds, but no major weather. Even at, I think... yeah, we're gonna have really quite nice weather the entire way down. "12 minutes away from Miran." Going to ground speed of 456. Ah! I filed 420. Because that's what the flight plan told me. So we're clearly cruising a bit faster than anticipated. I can slow down to 0.7. I'm kind of happy flying a bit faster than my flight plan told me to. If I'm being honest. I'm trying to pull Cube back over here. Just keep an eye out for ATC. And I'm going to do the same with this. This, there we go. So, the plane started vibrating. I don't know what XP Realistic's doing at the vibrations. So that's basically going to be us for the next couple of hours, is just sat back relaxing. There's nothing for me to do. If ATC comes on, I'll obviously talk to them for once, and we're just going to be chilling out. So feel free to ask me random weird questions in the chat, by all means. This is a stream where I'll answer them. These X-Plane streams tend to be a bit more freeform and loose than anything else on the channel, so if you got a weird question that you want to know from me, hey ASB. Flying Seychelles to the Comoros in the E170 today. Which I made a BizJet livery, but it didn't work, so we're using the default, the factory livery. It's quite good. Apart from these weird tiles that occasionally happen on the sea. This is the SSG E170. Quite a good it memes quite a lot. It doesn't like slowing down. It is payware, yeah. It's not the greatest quality payware, but it's anyone like there's not many Embraers available, and I quite like Embraers myself. Do I play on 2 TV screens? No, I play on 2 PC monitors. I got a 21.5 inch 1080p monitor there, a 21.5 inch 1080p monitor there. Games on one monitor, chat and everything else is on another. Looks better than one available for FSX. I mean, it would want to be for the price. It's got some issues like the clicks, which you will hear the clicks, trust me. It sometimes just goes off and does its own things nav-wise. I once spent 20 minutes spiraling upwards over an airport and wondering why the plane was in a constant turn. I thought it was intentional. No, the plane had just decided to do something bizarre. And to be fair, I am using shaders because I'm using X-Vision. which just makes X-Plane look 10 times better and is the single bit of payware that I would say you need to get. If you're playing X-Plane. Yeah, in all seriousness, if you got X-Plane and you don't have X-Vision, get X-Vision. You will 100% guaranteed not regret getting it. I did buy today XP Realistic, which is kind of a head shake and additional noises module or add-on. I can't really give my opinions on that yet, because I literally installed it a little bit before the stream, did crash landing to see what. Well, I say crash landing. I tried to land and I was way too slow and went down too fast. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Whoever that was. Girly100. I can't give my opinions on XP Realistic. I've literally just installed a little bit ago. It seems good. Everybody I watch has really heavily suggested it. You heard it. Oh, ASP, did you see the insider stuff for the new Microsoft Flight Sim yesterday? Because looking at that, it's looking increasingly like if the flight model is any good, I may be running twin sims at some point in the future. You're right about, dude. This looks good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this does look good. Looks better with ortho. The videos and screenshots Microsoft put out yesterday look 10 times better. Like, they are stunningly good. I don't know if the game's gonna deliver on what those screenshots look like. I'm really hoping it does now at this point. It's still in PR phase. Yeah, but it does look, if you've played FSW, it kind of looks like they just use FSW's engine. Gonna be honest. But they've clearly boosted. I think they might be using some sort of weird hybrid between You missed FSW. Yeah, you didn't miss much. It was visually great, but the actual yeah, there's a lot missing from the game. For example, no jets. Which is great if you want to fly GA, but if you want to do flight simulation, not very good. Also, pretty much everything available was payware. And they just up and stopped development one day. With no warning and no explanation. Which, I get the feeling it might now be explained by FS2020 appearing. Hello, Spamulator Gaming. But, oh, we got a small bit of turbulence. I'm keeping an eye on our actual progress, on the actual progress of the flight, by the way. I'm not just on the outside camera. We're just about to hit Miran in probably about 2-3 minutes. And then we'll be on a 472 mile direct to Beryl. So, Impox to Miran is 156 nautical miles. The next segment of this flight is 472. And it's another 113 onto Upper November 305, or along Upper November 305 to Vohid. We're on Tango 139 currently, towards Miran. Farm Sim 15? What about Farm Sim 15? It's an old game now. There's my new name. No thanks. SG, have you been following the new Microsoft Flight Sim? Hey Chris, how are you now? I'm trying to keep an eye on everything. We're about to hit Miran. We'll be making a turn, so this plane's going to do a janky. Doing good? Good to hear. I'm not... No host? Alerts? There should be host alerts, but they don't seem to work. Because I've managed to get YouTube and Twitch alerts running through the one login now on Streamlabs. But the host alerts don't seem to work, which is bloody annoying. I'm presuming you hosted, in which case thank you. Not getting stuck. Dude! Join the Insider program, SG, and look at the screenshots and videos they put up yesterday. It's looking promising. And if they're using the engine I think they're using, the performance will actually be really good. Where's it? I think it's flightsimulator.com. Might be wrong. Is the website for the game now? They changed it from some weird Microsoft hidden subsite to actually just flightsimulator.com. And you'll need a Windows Live, Xbox, Windows thing login. But I can almost guarantee you won't regret it because those pictures are stunning. If the game even looks half as good, as the sim looks half as good as what those pictures look like, and if the flight model matches that, I will be very, very happy. Especially with a Neo in there. I mean, there's a Neo, there's an SR-22. Should be making that turn in a moment. There we go. Right on cue. There's the multiplayer +15. What about that, Bailey? Is that what you've been watching on the channel? That's one of my favorite series, but due to various reasons, including Fahy having work and not being as interested in Farm Sim as he used to be, Sim also having real life stuff going on, and also not being as interested in Farm Sim as he used to be, and me just being a lazy git and working on other projects. That multiplayer is very, very unlikely to return, ever. Able to sit back. Get back with beer. I don't drink beer. When I'm sat kicking back, I usually have like some crisps or something. Or I just, actually I could do it now. Ah, there we go. I just chill out mid-share like this, with a can of Pepsi or something. Don't need beer to be entertained. Couldn't commit to a series. Yeah, that's the problem, is like, committing to series is a logistical nightmare in Farm Sim. It is an absolute nightmare logistically. Because it's like herding like trying to get YouTubers to do something together is like herding cats. Because you have one guy who's there and waiting, and then somebody else has gone to the toilet. And in the period that somebody else has gone to the toilet, the third person has just decided to go out for a meal. And maybe there's a fourth person involved. Yeah. I mean, I don't technically work, but I'm working. I don't have a job, but I'm working on so much now. just for myself. Between drawing, writing, chilling out and explain, honestly, is I count that as work because I need it sometimes. And then there's planning out all the tour stuff as well, and it's just like I don't really have time to try and herd cats into doing YouTube series. Plus, I've just kind of, for Farmson, gone off the idea of doing videos entirely. They're not as fun as streaming, and I much prefer having fun. Sometimes a big bag of beef hula hoops in your sight, they've suddenly disappeared, don't know who ate them. Oh dear. Farm Sim is much better to stream because, like, you can even get away with doing the boring stuff on streams because there's somebody to talk to. It's so very boring, just sat tediously plowing a field or something off camera. Farm Sim. ETS2, that's a game that I'd like to get back on the channel, but I don't really know when. Because I like having Saturdays off for multiple reasons. One of which is it gives me time to generate ortho for the tour. And others, it just gives me time to sit down and chill out and have a day to just completely unwind and forget YouTube exists. Or forget that I'm a YouTuber, more to the point. DMF. It's kind of... It does look very gritty. This happens sometimes, and I'm not sure why it decides to make tiles. I'm really not quite sure what's going on there. I think it's something to do with X-Vision derping up. And not quite knowing what to draw for the seafloor. City blocks, Atlantis confirmed. They're all identical as well. Atlantis was planned by somebody with OCD. So you can do this and you don't have to see the sea grid. There we go. That looks better. There's no sea grid now. We are approximately 600 miles out now. I was thinking, Bailey, are you just listing the games that I've done on the channel? What's the inside look like on this? Pretty boring. Honestly. There's nothing super exciting, and I don't think this door opens. Yeah, no, this door doesn't open. So this is the entirety of the inside of the plane, I'm afraid. Unless there's like a lock on the door. Which there could be. Now that I think about it, but I don't know where it would be. ERJ13545. I would get them for X-Plane, but they're hideously expensive. Like if I go onto the X-Plane store. Why did I have an X-Plane tab open over here? Don't think it has E-Tops rating for this leg. I mean, it would have a 200-ish mile range, so it would have E-Tops rating for this leg. Because ETOPS is what, 90 minutes? Is it 60 or 90 minutes from an airport? Embraer ERJ family. Yeah, the 145 for X-Plane is literally $50. And from what I've been seeing, it's not worth it. Oh, that's the X-Craft ones. Where's the other lot? The E-Jets family? Can do it with my engine. I think ETOPS is 60 or 90 minutes from an airport, which, considering this is a 2-hour leg and you're actually... There are airports on the islands below us. There are airfields. Like, quite frequently along this route. There's no ETOPS required, actually. Is there ETOPS? Yeah, there's no ETOPS calc on my flight plan. Let me show you real quick. Here's my flight plan, no ETOPS. Usually if there's ETOPS it'll say ETOPS up here. I may have been browsing Payware earlier. It's because, like, you can... Let me get Navigraph up. You can, divert from Victoria, the Seychelles, to possibly there's not never going to be an airport in that small island. But you can go down to the Gloriouses, I guess maybe, and like if I were to lose an engine now, or both engines now, I'd just start heading back to Victoria. Or start making my way south to Madagascar. In fact, Victoria would be a bit closer. Then from Comoros up to Dar es Salaam, which is our next leg, I mean, if you wanted to go without ETOPS, you just go zip over to, what's that, northern Mozambique and work your way up the coast. Helicopters, I think, need ETOPS ratings because there's a likelihood they'll hover. Not entirely sure why your helicopters need ETOPS rating, but I would imagine it's something to do with hovering and there not being an official airfield on the islands on the lake. That would be my best guess. There are 3 airfields on the islands. Oh! I have no idea then. Absolutely no idea. Cruising to Mach points 74245. I need to just fix the heading bug. There we go. If I go down here, this annoys me that the two FMCs are literally just the same, because if I hit progress on the right FMC here, it changes the left FMC. But nah. About an hour and a half out from the Comoros Islands. Second flight should be much, much shorter. Crash? No. I have no want nor intention to crash a plane. I mean, my landings are junk. I'm aware of that airspeed, that's intentional. So, on Twitch, you might notice if you go through the FSX category, you'll see a lot of people on P3D and X-Plane. It is just a thing in the flight sim community for Twitch. The favorite freeway aircraft for X-Plane. I mean, Zeebo in terms of jets, GA, I'm really liking the Aerobasque Robin. Is very nice. I haven't had a chance to crack it out on the tour yet. I've been having a look at a Yak. There's a Yak that's available, and there's a Zero that I'm not entirely sure about the quality of, but I might give it a go at some point. But considering Zebo is higher quality as a 737 than PMDGs for P3D, it's very hard to not to have that as a favorite payware. I'm gonna be real with you. Very difficult to not have Zebo as my favorite when it is study level. Like I really enjoy actually watching Flight Deck to Sim, 737 captain, former simulator instructor, and he says, and he's one of the guys that tests it, he literally says, like, if I want to keep up to date with the 7.3, I'll just hop into Zebo. It is... See, baby, it's amazing, number one, how simple it is to fly Zebo, and therefore, in theory, 737, but number two, just how complicated the systems really are once you start doing a deep dive into the plane and using a bit more of everything. Because, like, I taught Maddox Jets how to fly Zebo over the space of an hour. One day on TeamSpeak. Do I have an Airbus? Not yet. I'm planning on getting the Tolis A319. That's the one that I'm looking at, because that is, according to a lot of people, the best bang for the buck. Because, like, the JAR A320 is apparently junk, so I'm not going to bother with that. Which means the A320 I'd want would be the ultimate, which is $90, and I can't justify that, even after yesterday. So I'll probably just get the Tolis at some point in the next couple of months, and get myself some like Aer Lingus and stuff skins for that. Hey, Greek dude. That's the plan anyway. Let's get Tolis and get some nice liveries. Airsoft Airbus 318, 21. $90 for one plane, yes, Sideways. Flight Sim is a niche community, and the prices for high quality payware reflect that. Aerosoft tend to price in what, the $60 to $70 range. PMDG are triple figures very easily. You know that iRacing was expensive after all? Thing is with you bought the Airbus pack? Yeah, the JAR 320. Let me just have a look at this here. I'll give you the exact prices. A320 Ultimate, which is the one that I want, is $89.95. And that's apparently similar, if not slightly better quality than the Aerosoft. I did love the Aerosoft 320 though. The Tolis 319 is only $70, which still sounds like a lot, but you know, it's there. I mean, I could get the JAR 320 for $50, but I've heard so much negative about the JAR 320 that I'm not entirely sure if I wanted it. They are the Neo, which is a bonus for me, but not entirely 100% sure. As for the 330 SG, I don't have much interest in wide bodies. We won't talk about the Airbus that somebody decided it was a great idea to throw malware into. Sorry, it wasn't even malware, it was spyware. let's just not talk about the spyware A320. Oh, the Majestic Dash 8 is fantastic. I'm waiting on the X-Plane slide for the Q4 XP. Because there is a Dash 8 currently by FlyJSim, but they're actually updating the entire thing, rebuilding from scratch. And like I could get the Legacy for $30 right now. Well, I couldn't because I don't have $30. But if I wanted to, I could get the Legacy for $30. Or I could just wait and spend probably an extra $20-30 getting Q4 XP, which is going to have the most up-to-date systems and whatnot, and generally be slightly higher quality. And I'd prefer to wait for Q4 XP. As much as I love the Dash 8. Another thing I'm waiting on is the Coronado ATRs to make their way over to X-Plane. Apparently Coronado are working on getting them over, and I bought the Aerosoft ATR, having come from FSX and the Airbus, the Aerosoft 320. And oh my god, the Aerosoft ATR 72 is absolute ass. If you get an X-Plane, do not get the Aerosoft ATR 72. It barely works. Like, it is just, it's not worth, it's maybe a $10 plane, but they're charging 3 times that. Where am I going? I'm going to the Comoros Islands right now. Where we are currently is right out in the middle of nowhere, in between the Seychelles, which for some reason this map is saying they're over here when they're actually over here. This is the Seychelles. Well, it's a big island chain, so I guess it's fine. We're heading over here to the Comoros Islands. We're landing in not Moroni, but up by Hahaya. Because I don't think there is an airport in Moroni. Let me just check with my handy dandy map here. Yeah, there is no airport here. There may have been one in the past, but there is no longer an airport here. Especially seeing as I'm coming in a jet, I kind of have to use an airport with a decent sized runway, and yeah, this one has a decent sized runway. Because I'll need to stop this thing, believe it or not. Do I have any decent maps that use Wales Geo? I mean, Oakfield? Oakfield would be near enough to Wales. Basically, any UK or Irish map, you could definitely get away with the Wales Geo. NFS 19. No, Wales, Ireland, and the UK are all basically one weather system, which is just bad. Where did I put Cute Scoop? We are, fortunately or unfortunately, it's up to you, the only plane in the air around here. Oh, it does look like there's somebody in Dar es Salaam. Whoops. Yeah, somebody just arriving into Dar es Salaam from Kilimanjaro. Oh, cool! Kilimanjaro's gonna be... Okay, we're gonna be making a pit stop in Kilimanjaro next week. I didn't know that an airport. We're going to Kilimanjaro next week as a bonus stop on the tour. I want to fly around Mount Kilimanjaro. We're flying into Dar es Salaam today in Tanzania. Kilimanjaro's in northern Tanzania, so it might actually be directly under our... No, don't open OBS! God dang it. No, close OBS. You are not wanted. Is it directly under our route to Burundi? No, it's actually quite out of the way because it's right here. So where's the Kilimanjaro airport? Or airfield, I'm guessing. Because I can totally like artificially extend this entire leg to go up to Mount Kilimanjaro and then over to Burundi. Let's get back out of the plane. I hit the wrong button there. Let's do a flyby. Oh, I know what's going on. I think. Maybe. I think this is non-ortho, and then up here we got ortho. And the game doesn't quite know what to do. Hopefully that's the case, else we're about to crash. Where's our route taking us with regards to the... Oh. We may be about to crash, because that doesn't look very promising. Nice sea down there. Yeah, this might crash the sim. This is my concern now. And if it does, I'm going to have to start trying to figure out how in the hell to fix it. Because there is literally nothing there. There's just an empty tile. Granted, it's an empty tile over the sea, so we might be able to get away with it. We might be okay. Why is this tile decided it doesn't want to load? I'm hoping that's not the case for the rest of this. Either way, we're passing over to Mach 0.74. This is what happens to Malaysia playing their ortho. This isn't even supposed to be ortho. It's just not it's just like not loading. Let's look at the cockpit here for a second. Let's look at the quality of these textures. In fact, is there anything fun I can do here? Doesn't look like it. We're on VNav, we're on LNav. Confuse the passengers a bit. And let's let them smoke, and now they're done. Landy and Mark met up today? Yes! Landy was out and about yesterday. Mark sent him a text. It was like, "Hey, I'm in your area." And I was like, "Dude, it's like, what are you doing around here?" And they met up for coffee this morning. Actually, probably not too long ago. Your internet's being garbage. It could be on my end. Hang on, let me just check. No, it looks like it's on your end, possibly. Yeah, smokers are not allowed to smoke. Except for now. For that one split second, they could have had an entire cigarette. Let's test the enunciators. Ah yes, look at that enunciation. In the field data, it's alright, no lagging. Yeah, it's an ASB's end. Also, you're on YouTube, which tends to somehow be a bit more reliable. I had that problem yesterday, ASB. I had to restart the router about 6 times. In fact, right after the stream, the router decided to crap out, after I'd already fixed it yesterday. So I get the horrible feeling that it's on the way out. I'm hoping that, like, the terrain up ahead is actually... What in the hell is going on? That's a surprising... That's an entire tile that's failed to load. Wow. If we weren't at 32,000 feet, I'd dive down and see if I can fly under the sea. So expecting to arrive in about 40 minutes. Oh no, that's 40 minutes after our next waypoint. Oh god. We're about 33 minutes out from our next waypoint. So 73 minutes, 1 hour and 13 minutes-ish. Until we hit the Comoros Islands. Look at who's flying where on Project Fly. I've been flying around the northern US, if you're wondering why that was pre-selected. Yeah, I'm always a bit nervous that it will, because it did do that a couple of weeks ago when I failed with Ortho. Come on, load in all the things. There we go. And there we are. There is Seychelles-031 in a Boeing 767 flying to Libreville. It's a 10-hour flight. Good luck to you, good sir, on IVO. Somebody's just flying from Kenya, I believe, Kenyatta Airport. Yes, Kenya. To the Seychelles. I'll be there in 31 minutes. I have no idea what that call sign is. And our destination is surprisingly busy looking. There's a KLM that's on VATSIM, flying from Kilimanjaro, which now I can actually have a look at it. Oh, it's kind of to the east, okay. To the west. And a different KLM is flying to Mauritius, I think? I flew there recently. I think that's Mauritius. That's a 3-hour flight. So yeah, I'm guessing it might well be Mauritius. Then we have BA 765 Speedbird 6. Oh, sorry, BA 65 flying into Kenya, or has flown into Kenya, and whatever the hell this is. Oh, this is the group that came out of Dubai a while back. Yeah, there's a group flying from Dubai to Kilimanjaro for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why, but they're all like on top of each other, and it's kind of hilarious. They don't seem to understand spacing. They're all on VATSIM as well. Is that a small aircraft? Hello there, little Cessna. You're flying at 1,000. That is dangerously low to be flying, little Cessna. Hello again, Bailey. What's going on around Ireland? Good God. Hang on, is that somebody in Shannon Airport? There's somebody flying Delta 400 aircraft SDFJ. I get the feeling he's done something wrong here. The hell's an SDFJ? Yeah, he's screwed something up there because the SDFJ isn't a real airport or aircraft. Got Speedbird 2 flying JFK to London. Ryanair 66 Mike Kilo on the way over to somewhere. Ryanair 6 Echo Charlie inbound Dublin from Manchester. There's the same Ryanair 6 Echo Charlie. And in Dublin Airport there are 4 planes. Let's see where they're going. We got 4 Uniform November in from Bristol. It's a Ryanair. United 59, which doesn't exist. Shamrock 2 Charlie Juliet from Manchester. Shamrock 109 heading off to JFK in the A330. Good luck with that flight, good sir. And there's Fly UK Fly to 284 heading from Belfast to Heathrow. Any GA about in Ireland? Nope. Any in the UK? It's funny how little GA there actually is on Project Fly. It's an easy jet. What the hell is this flight plan? Somebody accidentally clicked JFK, I think. Oh no, that's not JFK. That is... You're lost. Hurlburt Field. Or Elgin Air Force Base, one of the two. You're very lost. Air India Express. You are... Yeah. Ooh, there's a Dash 8. Oh, it's an ATR. Let's see if anything's flying in this area in real life. Just out of curiosity. What would I be competing with if I was doing this flight right now in real life? I would be up in the air with... nothing, effectively. Good lord. There's a plane just after landing in from Johannesburg, but that's about it. That's kind of actually impressive. Yeah, there are no planes in the air. However, Dar es Salaam, there are some planes. There's Air Tanzania 102. Is that it, Dar es Salaam? Wow. Okay. It's Kenya Airways, Air Tanzania, Dash 8. Hey! Wow, there's really not many planes over East Africa at the moment. Unless you're in Johannesburg, in which case you have all the planes. Ooh, there's actual GA up in the air above Ireland. And an Aer Lingus plane about 20 miles from me. Oh dear, one of the Coast Guard helicopters were up recently. That's never a good sign. What did I fly again? Ah, Sikorsky. There's a couple of helicopters up. Thank you very much for the follow. Christian Arms 14. Welcome, hope you enjoy. Hope you're enjoying. Hope you're willing to chat. If not, that's fine. I don't mind lurkers. Coast Guard choppers will go up for training and such as well. Irish Coast Guard generally don't do training out to sea. It looks like there was a rescue just off the coast of Waterford, off the south coast. But yeah, they do have quite a lot of training. That didn't look like a training flight though. The routing of it. Let's get back outside for some prettiness and like intentionally not show the awkward sea. There we go. Bear in mind, ASB, that the Coast Guard in Ireland tend to just be kind of a utility force. They're not military. They're civilian-ish. But they act in place of basically every rescue helicopter. This is a gorgeous plane. I've flown on one of these. I've been on one of these in real life. They're very comfortable. Very quiet inside, very comfortable. The takeoff roll is hideous. However, the engines are not very good on takeoff. Once you get up to speed, they're very efficient, but the takeoff roll is... Oh my god, the takeoff roll. But going back to what I was saying about the Irish Coast Guard, they're not just like... They don't just work off the coast, especially the helicopter guys. They're mountain rescue as well. They're a utility group that do kind of whatever they need to do. Like they're commonly, way too commonly called in around here to rescue people who've managed to get themselves stuck on mountains. So you get rescue, I think it's 113 is the usual one that comes in. Occasionally 116. Flying in and about to get somebody off the mountain and bring them to hospital because they've broken their leg or something. Because they... Usually they weren't paying enough attention to the mountains. Or not showing the mountains enough respect. And Irish lakes and stuff. See, our Coast Guard, we have, I think, 3, maybe 4 deployable units. There's Waterford, I think there's a unit in Shannon. And I want to say, there's almost definitely a unit in Dublin. I think there's a unit for the northeast as well, probably in about Sligo-ish. And they cover everything. They cover the entire country. On and offshore. There's no area that they're not allowed to go to, unless it's like active military. So they can fly wherever the hell they need to fly. Or they're needed, more to the point. And I always know they're flying over because they're so big and so heavy that they sound so very different to the usual helicopters that buzz about, because there's a lot of extremely overly rich people in this area, as it turns out, that have helicopters. And there is occasionally, I say occasionally, quite regularly, there's a beach baron that comes up from Cork Airport. There's like one guy who's trading in Cork Airport and just, for some reason, loves flying over this way to do maneuvers. Like, we're a good 50-ish miles from Cork, well outside the Bravo, for sure, probably even the Charlie. And yeah, he just comes up this way and starts buzzing about 2,500–3,000 feet, and he's quite happy with himself. And there's the odd fixed wing. There's the well, I say fixed wing. There's the odd high wing as well. The Real Air Duke for FSX. For X-Plane, for me, it depends on how I feel. What my favorite GA plane is right now, it is the Coronado I think it's the A36. Bonanza. That is a really nice aircraft. I spent a little while yesterday making myself a custom skin for it for SS Economy, just because I enjoyed flying it so much. It's currently located in Wisconsin somewhere. I'm flying it as an ongoing project, kind of at night from Washington State. I've made it over as far as Wisconsin. Aim is to get it to Dublin Airport or somewhere in the region in the next few weeks, but it's something fun to do while I'm watching YouTube videos or just wanting to chill out, just have the plane cruising. I've taken to doing some slant alpha stuff with it, even though it's slant golf. It's kind of fun just going radio nav only, because it's kind of a bit more interesting than just following the magenta line. Stuff's a bit more likely to go wrong with radio nav only, but the entertainment value outweighs it. This little Embraer actually is doing really well on this flight. We still have the weird sea tiles going on. I'm hoping that stops. Actually, it does seem to... Yeah, it's just stopping here. Look, there's a clear demarcation line of where the sea tiles just stop derping. No GPS. I have GPS on as a backup, but... Are you... Oh, no, there... Oh, sweet. I want to get the... 732 for X-Plane, but I kind of want to get some more modern jets first, just for my own entertainment. Hence why I'm looking at the tallest 319. Because like if I've got a 319, I can pretend that it's a 320 in my head. It's mostly the same. And I can pretty much cover any commercial flight in the EU with that. Ethno Jeans Show? Thank you for following. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. Thank you for the follow, dude. we're going to be arriving in the Comoros in probably about an hour's time now. No, probably a bit more actually. Because we got 40 minutes from Beryl to the airport, 50 minutes. Oh no, about an hour. Roughly speaking. True airspeeds are 432, that's fine. It's gonna be a case of waiting for top of descent and figuring it out. Is top of descent even marked out on this? Not to think of it. Because I'm not seeing top of descent here. And it would surely be somewhere in between Beryl and Vohead. But I'm still like 300 miles out, so it's not a major issue right now. But hang on, that makes no sense. 104 to Beryl, 217 to Vohead, 318, that doesn't add up. Also, we're running way too rich fuel-wise. I've just noticed our reserves, our fin-res is 0.6. That's what we're apparently going to be landing with. I actually put more fuel in than I needed for this leg. Simbrief gave me 5.7, I put in 5.8, and we're still landing with 0.6, so I'm really glad that I decided to put in the extra little bit of fuel. Hello, Simulate. How's it going today, dude? I'm trying to figure out... There's no plane there. T-Cast, you're drunk. Still medium auto brake. Speed lever, disagree. There we go. I have an idea. Performance, cruise. Well, let's try no speed. 0.76. Okay. 0.82. Let's try speeding up the cruise, because that might increase the amount of fuel we have on that. Yeah, it's going to increase the amount of fuel we have on that. Warning about the same pitch but not duration of the EMS tone. Give you a bit of a hard skin. GG. Yeah, we're going basically max speed now. Because I need to get the fuel level back up just so that I've got enough to go around. That's an overspeed. Okay, cruise 0.80. Okay. There we go. That should be fine now. Every time. And all that is the master caution. That is literally just the master caution pinging. I can cause it again by doing this. It's just the right pitch that set your body into work mode. Yeah, you don't want to ever fly this plane then, apparently. Because you will just panic constantly. Stop! You violated the law! Let's get some landing info going in here. So we're going to be taking the ILS Yankee runway 2. Let's get it up overlaid on the chart here. And we're going to go with Charlie, so 280 on the radio. Zero set. These are minimums. And 110.3. Set into there. No. Oh, it needs the. It actually needs the 0. GG. So we're still a good 300 miles out from the Comoros. I think Void is actually going to double his top of descent. Yeah, look, fuel remaining 1.3 and fuel remaining 1.3. Well, our planes are made of gas. I thought people on the internet actually had good jokes. Seems they're both wrong today. So we'll set our heading log. It's going to get really annoying for landing because I'm going to have to set 016. Of course, it can actually be set now as 0. No, it cannot be set as 016. Can you get the flight director up, please? Oh, that is the flight director. Okay. Minimum's 8,000, max 10,000, max 250. First time over Moroni. That's fine. Revo 1 Victor. Revo hit 1 Victor. We need to be at 8200 by the first time through Moroni. So, flight plan. Moroni, 8,000 above. No, 8200 above. Flight level 82 above. Flight level 082 above. Slash 8200. Okay, there we go. So it's slash 8200 above. And I will activate that. Ensuring that all of our hey Jack, it's going good. How's it going with you? So VOR should be actually at 8,000. So 8,000 would have been fine. It's set that as mandatory 8,000. And then uh, 7.8. No, it's not giving me actual readings for all that, so it's all fine. Oop, that's all fine. So we are, if you just joined us, heading to the Comoros Islands. I'll bring up the map of where we are now, because we're getting up close now already. We are through the longest part of this flight. Heading up to Beryl, which we'll be hitting in approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Then we'll be heading down Uniform November 305, which is what this flight path is called. We'll actually continuing on Uniform November 305 to the airport, effectively. Or at least to the Moroni VOR. Then we'll be pulling out along here, making a turn. Nearly 360, well, nearly 180, slightly less. Heading into the airport from there. So you deserve it, dude. You've been at, like, you're at every stream you can make it to. And you've done nothing but support the channel from day one. Plus, I can't recall a single instance where you've caused trouble. Sure. Kind of 3 good reasons to make somebody a mod is like 0 trouble, constant support, and there as much as possible. Our top of descent is literally just like hit Vohid, then top of descent. Okay, that's fine. DMF, simple reason I can't give everybody mod. There is extra stuff to become mod, but as well, I'm gonna need to bring this up, overlaid. That's our final altitude, 3,000, so we'll bring it down, all the way down to 3,000. This could go clicky. That was the speed bug, that was not what I wanted to change. Altitude select, this could go clicky. Oh no, this isn't the clicky one. There is no way for me to turn off the clicks, so you'll just have to deal with them. Every time I fly this plane, I've got to deal with the clicks. Flying on stream today, so you get to deal with the clicks. Downloading demo at the moment. You won't regret it, Silas. It won't look like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. It will not look like this. This is explained with basically everything you're seeing is payware. This plane is payware. The cloud, well, the visuals and shaders are payware. Actually, I lie. The smooth shadows is freeware. There's a Lewis script for that. The way the camera moves, and you'll notice it mostly on landing. When we're coming down, decelerating, and the camera starts vibrating. That's payware. Henry, I'm not entirely sure. We were talking about this earlier, and I'm gonna kind of revisit it. The new Microsoft Flight Sim looks stunning. Oh my god, does it look stunning. But I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work on console. Like I hope it's as good on console as it is on PC. See ya, Toxic. I hope it's as good on console as it is on PC. It's highly likely, I think, that it will be a bit of a toned down version. Hey Gary. It's highly likely the console version of Microsoft Flight Sim will be toned down. Just because PCs struggle with flight sims. Any PC does. You can build the best PC currently available, it'll struggle with flight sim because there's a lot of calculations going on. And a console which is a bit more limited than the PC by default, you're gonna have some fun if they try. Microsoft will have some fun on optimizing everything. It's Microsoft making the game for PC and Microsoft console. Thing is, the console version, this is what I've been hearing, Henry, the console version will not be the same as the PC version, it'll be a bit tuned down. For example, like, you can get X-Plane on mobile. I think ASP is going to be a bit more like X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 10 mobile. Because you can get X-Plane 10 on mobile for free. And it gives you a couple of planes, and you can buzz about in it and, you know, have fun, but it's not the full experience by any means. It's probably not going to look as good. It's probably not going to have the same flight model. It definitely won't have the same sort of insane customization as the PC version will. But I hope for console players that they get a damn good flight sim from Microsoft. I really do. And if the screenshots are anything to go by, it's going to be a damn good flight sim. It's at least going to be pretty, which some people like. I mean, I like pretty flight sims. That's why I've got Xvision installed. That's why I, as much as possible, generate ortho scenery for myself. It's time consuming, but I feel like it's worth it. That's why I use payware planes. The quality is usually pretty high. Like I want the best experience for myself, and my best experience is something that looks pretty good, and that has an at least a believable flight model. I don't want to say realistic because I've never flown a plane, but at least believable. So heading up towards top descent now. Hey, Keen. Let's arm VNav again. Let me... Excuse me, I hit VNav, not flight level change. Hold the altitude. Hang on, we gotta get you back up to 320 now. We're only 160 feet below, we're fine. 150 feet. So I'll actually ascend once we hit Vohid. Down to, just because it's probably gonna derp out. Actually, if I reset 320, it might not screw up too much. Might recalculate and stuff. Let's try this. There's the hot zone there. 320 VNav. Oh, that's interesting. Flight level change up to 320, please. That clicking is really, really annoying, and I apologize for it. There's not a whole lot I can do. So if I set Vohid in the flight plan to be 320, I just go realize, nope. Activate. Why did that not work? So you need to be 8,000 above. sure. That's not editing now, which is interesting. So Sarah selecting altitude down all the way to 8,000 feet. Start of X-Plane is deafening. Yeah. Just be glad you're not using Active Sky, because when you open up Active Sky, at first you get this insanely loud thunder crack. And it's not fun. Do I have now manual control of speed as well? I do. That's actually fine. So we're 7 minutes out from Vohid. We are now manually controlling everything, which is not great, but oh well. Right, if I go FMS speed, no, it's seeming it's disconnected all the FMS stuff. No, nav. We're not too far out now. We are. Why am I looking at America? What is it? That's Zipolot. We are apparently 15 minutes out from the airport. I'm doubting that, but I mean, okay, if you want to think that, that's fine. I want to just check something here. Arrival. Victor to ISO to Yankee. That and that. Activate. That might have fixed everything. No, that hasn't fixed everything. Great. I did say in the Twitch notification that this thing is memes, and it's living up to the hype that I gave it. We have at the very least got the fuel back in order. We're 5 minutes out from Vohid. Top of descent there is horrifically wrong. So let's actually no, let's keep it at 290-ish. 290 exactly indicated. This thing is inexplicably just completely lost control of everything. It's because auto throttle's not on. No, auto throttle was on. Don't know why it's decided to give me manual control over everything, but that's kind of fine. Once we get to Vohid in 4 minutes time, I'm gonna tune everything back to 250 knots, hit flight level change, and we should start descending. I may need to throw in some speed brake into the mix, but once we hit top of descent, I'm actually going to run off and be back in a moment or two later. Bear in mind that top of descent that you're seeing on screen there is not correct. Our actual top of descent is Vohid. No, more than just 10 miles. Not more than just 10 miles, 20 miles should be better. And we do seemingly have some weather to go through, which I wasn't expecting. Should be fine though. What I'm going to do is, because I'm going to need to be a bit more cautious now with the descent, I'm going to run for a minute. I'll be back hopefully before top of descent. If not, oh well, I'll just have a faster descent. And I'll leave you with some nice views of the plane doing its flying thing. Oh, the tile. See is back. I'll be back in a moment. And I'm back. We've not even reached void yet. That's fantastic. We're only about a minute out though. So let's start the decel to 250. Apologies for the clicking. This plane just does it. There's no way to stop it. Uh, 8,000 on the bug. That's fine. That's fine. And once we cross Vohid, we'll start descending down to 8,000 feet. As there's a thunderstorm below us, apparently. So there's Vohid, 5 miles out. We're slowing nicely. Fuel 1.6, we'll have 1.4 on landing. Flight plan said we should have 1.8. Nearly 1, actually 1.9. So I have gone a bit too slowly here. I'll know that for the next leg. Okay, 250 achieved. Flight level change down to 8,000 now. Engine's gonna idle out, we'll start descending. There we go, all delicious and beautiful. Didn't miss anything, did I? Didn't miss anything in chat anyway. So we go 2,500 feet per minute down, that's perfect. Yeah, 2,000 feet per minute. 2,500 feet per minute. Perfect for descent. Chilling doing some plow on FS19. Very nice. We come through 15,000. I'll turn the seatbelt light back on for our many passengers. Hey, Corner Simmer. I've been doing good. How have you been? We're just on our way down now. After a lovely flight from the Seychelles towards the... Excuse me? That's not where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be back here. Just go back into the cockpit. Because the plane's doing stupid things. Alright, 27,500 coming down nicely. Range out a small bit. Weather isn't actually a factor. It sounds a lot worse than it actually is. We will be fine for the remainder of the descent. And hopefully the airport exists. What's new with me? Not a whole lot. Just been in a better mood of late than usual. I need to descend faster, so I'm looking at the banana there. That needs to be ahead of the triangle, so I'm just gonna get some very, very light spoilers out. Barely even out, just enough to interrupt the airflow, and like, that's all that I need. In fact, not even that much. I can put them in a bit more. Just a hint to spoil the airflow. Because I need to be down at 8,000 before HAI. Enough. In fact, we'll go vertical speed. $2,400 will do. More brakes required. Oh, hang on a second. The engines weren't even idle. So the engine's idle back, see what speed it wants to settle at. It wants to settle too quickly, okay. So we'll just get the spoilers out enough to spoil the speed. There we go, the engines will take care of the rest there. And it looks like the C's decided it wants to be a C again, which is nice. Yes, it has decided it wants to actually look like the sea, which is very nice. Excuse the shadows derping about. The clouds are in fact 2D. So we should see, there's the island up ahead. That is our destination. We're actually going to be overflying the entirety of the Comoros Islands. Or of the island. We will be seeing. A bit less vertical speed, that should be perfect. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on everything. Runway length is going to be something I need to consider here. Runway length upon arrival is 2,900 meters. Generating aircraft exceeding 20 tons. I'm actually going to need to open up my beautiful calculator here. Landing weight is where is our data here? Performance. So we're landing at FMCH. Airport plus meter. We want to land runway 02. Select the runway. Route crosswind. Compute these speeds. Landing weight. Landing. Here we go. Be 25900, so 25,900. Compute V speeds. Oh, set landing config. V speeds. Fantastic. We'll be landing flaps. I need to move this over here. Hey, Voltrop. Doing good, how are you? We'll go approach flap 2, landing flap. We can go up flap 5. Yeah, flap 5 will work. Ice, no. Oh, hang on. Yeah, flap 2, flap 5. That's fine. Next. VREF is not calculated. VFS? Oh, that's there. VREF is not calculated by this. Interesting. That's 115. VAP is going to be, let's say 120. VAC is 139. And VFS is 168. Okay. How are we doing with descent? Pretty good. There is our destination for this flight. The beautiful island of Comoros. I think it's actually called the Comoros Island. Might be, well, the VOR is Moroni. So it might be Moroni Island, but this is our destination. The airport's just over here. There, you can just kind of see it. There's a little white dot there. That's the airport. We're going to be overflying it. And making a nice little turn. We can pull back on the vertical speed now. Got a lot under control. Only gonna need 1500 vertical speed. So that is actually really beautiful. Holy cow. That is actually spectacular. Especially with the low, like the lowish clouds. That is something special. We'll slow down to 220 knots now. I'm trying to get everything a bit more under control. It's looking like the plane doesn't want to decel, so we'll just put out some spoiler. Increase the vertical speed a bit, but it'll be fine. There is our airport right there. It's a very, very small airport. But it should be able to take this Embraer pretty easily. They fly 767s out of it, so I'm assuming an Embraer 170 will be fine. And, you know, not die. Some quite decent craters there, holy cow. I'm down to the clouds, and I want to be at... So we're now on the ILS. By 16 miles out, I want to be at 3,000, so that is... I'm gonna guess C102. Yeah, so I'll select and go down to 3,000. Can I get VNAV in now? No, I can't because it wants to... do stupid stuff. Yes, thank you. Speed brakes full deploy. Radio. Used to be 110.3. We'll set nav 1. We're down to speed. Pull the flaps out a bit. But the speed brakes out a bit. And we can go to 160 knots. So we'll go 180. We should be able to pull flaps 1 in a moment. Flaps 1. I might need to start hand flying. Flaps 2. That's our approach speed. It is 168. Okay, that's gone a bit wrong, so I need to select heading select and then select 016. heading. Arm approach. Nope, heading. Actually go slightly off to that side. Now alarm approach. Needs to come over this way a lot more. To actually intercept the localizer. QNH is not available here. QNH is 1017. Hang on, localizer yet. Should be intercepting momentarily. There's a localizer coming in. We're on loc. Probably above slope, but we should be okay. Disable altitude hold. Can't disable altitude hold. Let's go. Whoa. Approach. Local glide slipper in. We're on flaps 2. We'll go flaps. Flaps 3. Gear coming down. Flaps 4. And flaps 5. Flaps are full, speed brake is armed, auto brake set to medium. Let's get auto throttle off. Get the autopilot disconnected.
Autopilot, 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 autopilot.
And I genuinely have no idea how to stop that warning. Oh, I have to hit the autopilot button again. That's odd, but okay. So I'm in full manual control of the aircraft. Let's just level it out to re-intercept the glide slope. Throttle up again.
1000, flight low.
way before below the slope.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight
I need to be really careful with how much throttle I'm actually putting in.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
And I want to just kind of hold it up here.
Flight slow.
At basically
Flight slow.
0 up, 0 down.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Approaching 0, 2.
Okay, we're back on glide slope. Slightly off the localizer, but that's fine. Here's where you guys will get a visual representation of how I land, by the way.
Minimums.
Continue. Come on, land. Not terrible. Over screen. And we are above 20 tons. So we're gonna have to go the whole way to the end of the runway. Just click the manual brakes. So that wasn't a terrible landing. Much better than my first attempt. So we're heading down to the end of the runway to turn around. We're above 20 tons, we have to. And I just realized I didn't have flaps full. We can pull the flaps up now though. Forgot to turn on the landing lights too. That was actually, looking at the configuration, that was a terrible landing. In terms of pure numbers, that was not bad, but config wise, that was terrible. So we'll get this parked up, shut down, and we'll leave the AP running. Speaking of, just leave it on APU on the stand. And where am I going to want to park up? I'm going to park up in front of the control tower, I think. It's gonna shout at me for flaps, I think. Oh, maybe not. Usually when I do something...
Runway
Yeah, here
2,
we go.
0.
Flaps. Oh, it didn't say flaps. Usually it shouts at me because I got the flaps down. Or up. There we go. Not a terrible landing. Let's get this parked up. We'll do a quick little turnaround. We'll taxi about 50 knots down the runway. APU bleed is open. APU gen is on, I guess. Or is that it on? No, that's it on. Let's get all the lights on because I forgot to before I landed. Also, the passenger should probably be sat down with the seatbelts on. There is no fast way to do this taxi, by the way. This is effectively fast taxiing. Also, I've just noticed the Mach number is hilariously wrong. It's claiming I'm doing Mach 0.91 down the ground here.
1,500 meters remaining.
Yes, I'm aware of that, shouty lady.
1,200 remaining.
Alright, let's get this down in speed. Landing lights can come off. Strobe light can come off. And we need to hit standby there. Okay. No seats. Believe it or not, I'm already having a look at the next leg. It wasn't entirely terrible. I'm kind of impressed by that landing myself, to be honest. There. Hey. Parking brake. On. On. There we go. And igniters off. Engines off. Turn that off for now. We'll leave the APU running because we'll need to get our next leg sorted. So let me just file the flight plan for this one with VATSIM real quick. Our flight plan is going to be mostly unchanged. Just leave that there. I can put the throttle full just for comfort here. True airspeed is going to be about 420. I'm actually going to say about 470 knots. Actually, 460 should be fine. Departure airport is FMCH. Departure time is going to be approximately 1840 Zulu. Cruising altitude is 320, that's fine. Our route is direct to that 790. I'll be putting this into the FMC, so don't worry about me faffing about here. And we're going to there. Estimated time en route is going to be 0140. In fact, I'm going to want to get the GPU on because I just realized I need to reveal the plane. You wouldn't ever do that with the APU on. So we got the APU off. GPU is now in use. Fuel on board for this leg is going to be 0235, and our alternate is 0235. HKML. That's Kilimanjaro, or alternates Kilimanjaro. That's amazing. And we'll file. Where's the file button? File that. Right. Next up on the agenda, we need to refuel the plane. So, according to the flight plan, we will require 3,880 kilos of fuel. Manual select, please. So we'll put 4,000 kilos in. Fuel it up, please. And our payload is going to be 7.6. We've clearly picked up simulating his ego. 7.6. That gives, for the takeoff calculations, we're at FMCH. Airport and METAR, please. Now we're going to go takeoff 2, takeoff mode 1. Our GC position is 22%. Takeoff weight is 28745. There's our V-speeds calculated. We'll leave that over to one side for a minute. Right. Performance initialization. Actually, our plan. Can we now light summary, flight plan list, delete. Okay, can't delete. How do start new leg? Next. Perfect init. Index root data. Legs. Menu. Nav data. Activate. Cancel. Oh, it's initialized. There we go. We're back to default now. There we go. That's better. So now route is going to be FMCH to HTDA. GRDWA. Next on our flight plan is going to be direct to HAI. Then it's Upper Bravo 790 to Kinnan. Kinnan, whatever. It's Upper Alpha 401 to Kisser. And then we're on, then we're on to the arrival. Okay. Performance initialization, climb 280 cruise will be 0.80, please. Initial cruising altitude is 320. Cruising winds are going to be 048 at 16. Oh, it doesn't matter. Don't want to do that. ISA deviation is -1. Let me do. Let me do ISA deviation. No, it won't. Okay, so 5 as a cost index. Please let me do a cost index. Why will you not let me do a cost index? Oh well. Performance, takeoff. That's nav, departure. We'll be leaving off 20. Wind's actually preferred, so I should land at 20. And then performance, takeoff, runway slope. It's fine. Takeoff data set. We'll use climb 1. Today trim. Do 15 kd rate. Do flex 25, ref ECS. Enter that. Just say select climb 1. Oh, hang on, no, I don't want to full D rate. 17k1 and flex 25, that's fine. Climb 1 would be nice, won't let me, that's fine. Okay. Takeoff info, please. Takeoff refs. Flaps 2 takeoff. V1 114. VR 124. V2 131. VFS 177. Climb 320, that's fine. Cruise is fine. Right. Let's get the engines back running and we should be good. Let's get the beacon on. Let's get engine 2 spooling. Except need the APU on for the engines to work. So I've now got to wait for the APU to come online. APU should be online. It's at 100%, so let's try engine 2. With the igniter set to auto. There we go. Engine 2 is coming online. We have engine 2 20, 40, 60. Good start. Engine 1. Hey, Larry Lab. Engine 1, come on now. We can just drive straight out. We can get the taxi lights on. Seatbelt sign on. Engine 1 and 1 is coming up. We got to initial of Let's say flight level 120. That'll give me time to take off and whatnot. And a runway heading for runway 20. That's not Navigraph. Runway 20 should be somewhere in the region of 118. Or 196 even. So 196 needs to be set as the heading. Apologies for the clicks. This plane is the most irritating thing in the world. There we go. Speed V2 is 131, so we'll set that as our speed. We'll set VNav, we'll set LNav. The yaw damper needs to be on. So it's both engines are good. APU can come off. I'm sorry, Larry lad, there's literally nothing I can do about that.
Trim.
Okay, 2.8 is apparently what the trim wants to be.
No takeoff. Flat.
Yes, it helps if I'm idling. Usually this plane doesn't like to taxi. Shout out to ASB, who is getting PTSD from all the master warnings I'm getting.
Takeoff. Okay.
Takeoff's okay. So we're going to taxi up to the end of runway 20, off over there. Let's get our landing lights on, because we're entering our runway.
Approaching 02.
Clear left, clear right. Squawk Chara. Double check there's no ATC that I should be talking to.
On
There's
runway
no ATC that I should be talking
02.
to. So that should have refreshed by now. Refresh network status. There we go. Where I'm headed now? I'm headed to Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Or Tanzania. Depends on how you want to pronounce it. If you want to pronounce it right, it's Tanzania. If you want to pronounce it wrong, it's Tanzania. If you want to pronounce it really wrong, it's France. This flight should be around about an hour. Thereabouts. Last one is pretty simple. Whoa, you were telling me takeoff was okay. I don't have the auto brake set for RTO. Good grief. Map, I need weather up. Weather is good, TCAS is good, everything's good. Flight attendants, seats for departure. That means you, Laurie lad, get set down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board your We're Gonna Crash Airways flight today. Where we're probably gonna crash somewhere in between Comoros Islands and Tanzania. Our hopeful destination is Dar es Salaam. However, if I am bored, we might end up at Mount Kilimanjaro. It really depends on how I'm feeling today. Feeling quite good, so we might actually end up where you're supposed to be.
On runway 20.
Okay, that's us lined up. Let's get the engine spooling. I'm gonna do something incredibly silly, which is hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake. Takeoff thrust is achieved. Manflex, go! Excuse me, the no smoking light is off. It is fine.
V1.
V1. Start pulling back.
VR.
We're off the ground by rotate. GG.
V2.
We're not off the ground. Now we're off the ground.
FSC flight not started.
That's one. We get all throttle in. Get the autopilot on. And there we go. And flap 0. Turn off the taxi lights. Click spots are insane. Incredibly bad thrust build-up. Excuse me, that was a perfect thrust build-up. There are genuinely, like, jokes aside and me being derpy aside, there are genuinely times when you want to actually stand on the brakes while building up thrust. Like if you're trying to take off a 747 from a very short runway, you stand on the brakes until you get close to the takeoff thrust. And then you release and it launches. So if ever you're on a passenger flight, Ryanair have a habit of doing this actually. If ever you're on a passenger flight and you don't feel a little jink from when they're achieving 40% N1, and you hear the engine spooling up when you're stopped and you're wondering why and you're on the runway, it's probably that the pilot's got a bit bored or has decided they need a max performance takeoff or want to achieve V1 as quickly as possible. We're going to stand on the brakes and basically put in takeoff thrust. So it does slam you back. I've experienced it once or twice. And it's quite the experience. See you, Larry lad. I think I have to cook for myself. I think I'm cooking my own in-flight meal today. Which means I'll have it in Tanzania once we've landed. So the FMS is back working for some reason. Autopilot's all working again. Do have the barrel set standard, because we've been cleared up to flight level 320. We've been cleared up to our cruising altitude. So let's just get that all the way up to 320, please. One thing I do like about this plane, as many memes as it is, and as annoying as the clicking is, it is nice that the altimeter here is showing you flight level 320 as opposed to 32,000 feet. It actually stops some of the confusion. I like that. That it displays the flight level. Got a 12 knot tailwind as well, which should scoot us along very nicely. So I suppose it's time I show you the visuals of this flight. And I should have sun ortho for the coast of Africa, in theory. I can't remember if I actually generated some. So, we've just left Moroni, we've flown over the Moroni VOR. That was our very first waypoint. We're now heading down along Upper Alpha, Upper Bravo 790 to Keenan, which is literally just a 68 nautical mile straight shot. Then along Upper Alpha 401 to Kizib. We'll be hitting Kobo on the way, 104 miles, and then another 97 to Kizzer, even. And then we'll be using Kizzer 1 Alpha, in theory, for runway 05, which I'm hoping has it. It's got an RNAV, that'll do. So that is our plan. And all I really have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, just like you guys. We're through 10,000, we were long through 10,000, so let's get the landing lights off. And release the now traumatized passengers. Top of climb is going to be at 36 nautical miles. And it's showing us as having 0 fuel at the destination. Did I load enough fuel? Yeah. Slight correction to my in-flight meal. Apparently it's Chinese. So what was our plan fuel? 3880. And I loaded on board. We have on board 3270. Right, I'm hoping during cruise we don't burn as much fuel as the plane thinks we will. And I'm hoping the Mach Point 8 cruise will actually help. Because that in theory is 2.5 hours worth of fuel. Delicious mini curry rolls. Oh, I can see why it's thinking we'll have no fuel, because we're running 98% N1. Can we go economy climb, please? Because that's a bit excessive on the fuel usage. By a bit excessive, I mean you're literally using all the fuel plane. So there we are now. Forgot to end the last flight. Thank you, Project Fly, for reminding me. Bookings set active. Fly now. There we go, now we got the right information on top. Or we will in a moment when the active sky overlay decides to refresh itself. There we go. Now you got the right information. So we're heading over here. it's pretty much a straight shot from Comoros over. It's just going to be a chill flight, going basically flying in a straight line. And desperately hoping our fuel usage estimates are wrong. Because as it stands, we're running out of fuel before we land. Can I see where exactly we run out of fuel? No? Okay. It's looking like we'll run out of fuel at some point, but I don't know when. We may have to do a flapless landing in Dar es Salaam. And if we do, I'm gonna have to disconnect from Batson because they don't like people running emergencies. Hang on a second, I see the problem there. Hang on. Manside landing. No, I've just realised what the problem is. The Kissy 1 Alpha. Why are there two different Kissy 1 Alphas? Oh, there's not. There's a Kazi 1 Alpha by Kiss here. And we'll be going, we'll take the RNAV from Ivamo. Yeah. The RNAV 05 from Ivamo. Activate that. And now our progress page should show that we'll have some fuel left. Will we have as much as the... We'll have roughly the correct amount of fuel left. Best case scenario. I mean, we did burn we are apparently going to burn a small bit more than we should, but according to the flight plan, we should have 1.6 left. According to our fuel estimates here, we'll have 1.5 left. Which means that we're actually burning. We're after burning 100 kilos of continuity fuel, which is fuel to carry out a 15-minute hold. Our final reserve is 30 minutes, and our alternate allows for 40-minute flights. So we should have enough fuel. We should have. It's just gone up to 1.6. Does that? No, it actually needs to be 1.7. Our destination is 1.7. Will require for safe landings. We're getting up to the top of the climb now, which is awesome. One less thing for me to worry about. I can extend the landing gear at 265 knots indicated. Why? Something's just clicked. Yeah, pretty sweet now. Let's get out into Atlantis view. You can watch this plane just cruising along. We have zero concerns now. Fuel levels are fine. Engines shouldn't explode. hopefully. Everything should be a-okay. Yeah, pretty sweet now. Apart from the sea being derpy. But the plane itself is very pretty. Look at the nose-up attitude, actually. I mean, granted, we're still climbing, but that's actually a very strong nose-up attitude. That's nearly like 5 or 6 degrees. That sounds like we're settling down into cruise. Yes, we are. There's 1.7. We're good on fuel. We're at safe fuel levels. Not tipping into reserves at all. CFIT excellent. I don't know any CFIT excellent. I was concerned about fuel levels, but then I realized that this plane has a weird... I've said it a few times. This plane has some weird behaviors. One of them is if you don't have your arrival in. I don't know why it does this. If you don't have an arrival in, it assumes you want to fly for 5.5 hours. Over like 3,000 nautical miles. Which I decidedly don't. And for some bizarre reason, it sets that as your data. Which gives you bad fuel numbers. I didn't cop that immediately. So it didn't occur to me that, hang on, these fuel numbers are wrong. But now that I did cop it, we do have a planned arrival in, we should be good. What else is flying around here? Is there anything else on VATSIM around here out of curiosity? Come here, cute scoop. No. No is the simple answer to that. And is this the leg where we're crossing the equator again? No, we're still... still below the equator, still in the southern hemisphere. Can I get GPS data for this at all? Performance. I would like to show you where exactly we are. GPS numbers, but it doesn't seem to want to let me. Does this have the equator on it? No. That's a bit of a shame. But probably next week, actually, we'll be crossing over the equator. Actually, no, we won't be next week. It'll be the week after that. Hey, John Petrie. And hello, Next. I'm not entirely sure why you're apologizing, but... Hello? We're en route to Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Or Tanzania, if you want to pronounce it wrong, or Egypt, if you want to be particularly wrong about it. Or if you want to be, you know, the most wrong possible, Pluto. We're going to be cruising at 320 for a while. This is going to be about an hour's flight, if not a bit more. It's currently in game 11:16 Zulu. We're anticipating destination at 11:59 Zulu. So that's kind of your, you know, you'll be better part of 3 hours of an hour here. Which gives me time to eat my Chinese. I have chicken fried rice and it is delicious, and I get to eat it now. And I have 0 complaints. So next week I'm going to need to work, or for next week, this is going to be my job for, I guess, tonight. Number 1, I need to start sorting out the ortho. Tonight's as good a time as I need to start doing that. And number 2, I'll need to work out flight times. The aim of these streams is to be about 4 hours long. We're getting about that today. Got about that last week as well. I've been pretty good with the estimates. So I'll need to choose a plane and then choose the legs that I want to do next week. So, in terms of the tour, we have done this leg here. Seychelles to Comoros is done. Comoros has been achieved. We're now on the Comoros-Tanzania leg, so we'll mark that as done. And we're going to be finishing up tonight in Tanzania. Julius Nyerere. The Dar es Salaam International Airport, basically. And then next week we'll be off to definitely Burundi. I would like to potentially take a jaunt around Kilimanjaro. I might do that from Nairobi. I'd like to take a jaunt around Kilimanjaro at some point, so expect to see me doing a weird jaunt. We'll definitely be heading to Burundi, we'll definitely be heading to Rwanda. We may well get to Uganda, and there's a small chance we actually get to Kenya, depending on what plane I decide to fly next week. The week after is almost definitely going to be Nairobi involved, one way or another. Mogadishu involved, one way or another, and then possibly off to Juba in South Sudan. If we only get as far as Mogadishu, then it'll be Juba to Addis Ababa, and then to Hargeisa, which, granted, is in Somalia, but is actually in the self-governing region of Somaliland. And then we'll be off to Djibouti, Eritrea, Sudan, and then this flight up to Egypt is going to be a fun one, because we're going basically Egypt and then, I think that's Israel. Yeah, Israel. I think the plan is, but yeah, the plan is Ben Gurion, because I think it's the only airport that's actually around Tel Aviv. But if I zoom out, we now have quite a large patch of green. This is 35 streams in. We've got a nice big patch of green. I'm hoping to reach Australia ideally by Christmas. So I'm hoping in the next 3-4 months to make it all the way over here. Although that's only 12 weeks, so that's unlikely. We might, if we're lucky, make it over towards like Azerbaijan in 12 weeks time. I mean, if we're unlucky, we'll be somewhere in Germany, because there's a whole cluster of nonsense going about in Europe. Almost definitely by the time I finish this tour, the new audio for VATSIM client will be out. Audio for VATSIM will be publicly available. If it's not, I'll be very concerned about how it's being developed. Because it was promised a year ago for World Flight and it hasn't come out yet. There is a long haul planned on this tour, and I'm not entirely sure what I want to fly it in. The initial plan is a 747, but I am very tempted to get myself a Concorde and do a comical Concorde flight. The Euro flights should be quick, except we'll probably have ATC, and just to be kind to ATC, I will be flying VFR, which I haven't really done so far in this tour, other than on meme legs. I'll be flying VFR, and I'll have to be avoiding airspaces, so they're not going to be as quick as you think they might be. Because if I fly VFR, visual flight rules, I don't actually need to talk to ATC. I'll need to talk to them for takeoff and landing and the taxiing and all that kind of airport, the ground side stuff. Once I'm in the air, it's just going to be monitoring. Monitoring. I could, I suppose, get full flight services from ATC, but they're within their rights to refuse flight services to a small VFR aircraft going 100 miles. Tea time? Tea time is not... no tea for a bit. It's tea time after Chinese time. Delicious, delicious chicken fried rice first. Which, I know chicken fried rice, it's you tea time. Okay. Holy cow! We're already coming up on top of the scent? What? Where are we? Oh my god! Okay. So look at this chart. So from like this here. So 3,200, okay. And I'm coming in. Just overlay the chart for the RNAV. Overlay the RNAV chart, please. So I'm gonna want to go down to 3,200. So this luckily doesn't click. It would be painful if it did. Okay, just want to verify my 2,200, 2,200, 19. Brilliant, perfect. So hopefully it'll take us down properly. Hopefully. Probably won't, but I'm hoping. A boy can have some hope. We still have 80 odd nautical miles to go till top of drop. If you're just joining, we're heading into Dar es Salaam. Hey James. If you're just joining, we've already been through the Comoros Islands. We've flown from the Seychelles to the Comoros Islands today. Nice 2-hour journey. We're now heading into Dar es Salaam. We're about to start dropping out of the sky for that. In about 83 miles time, we'll be hitting top of descent here. And we'll be finishing up the stream in Dar es Salaam. We're in the SSG E170, the Embraer E170. It is a passenger jet. I have been on one of these in real life. They are very comfortable and quite nice. But I needed something with a bit of boost that I didn't want to reuse the... It was between this and the 747 today, basically. And I figured that the Embraer might have made a bit more sense. But there will be times where we have enough jet legs back to back that the 747 does get wheeled out of the hangar. And we'll get a proper meme leg in. I should mention as well, there will possibly be a stream in November where I'm off VATSIM for the entirety. Because I am currently on VATSIM. If, by some strange miracle, World Flight are flying near me on the tour route, I will be not on VATSIM because I don't want to interrupt World Flight. I don't want World Flight to interrupt me. World Flight tends to have several hours of delays in airports, and I don't want to deal with any of that. World Flight, by the way, is a massive charity event on VATSIM, where a bunch of groups, not just one group, but the one that I watch is SimFest. And they have a 747 simulator using real 747 parts in somebody's garage, and they fly around the world once a year, visiting hilariously inappropriate airports like Manchester. Who would ever want to go to Manchester? It was started by, I think, the Australian group, an Australian group that have a full motion sim by the looks of it. It starts in Australia, ends in Australia. And they go all around the world, so I'll be probably using that as some off-camera watching throughout the first full week in November. May join into a leg or two if I'm feeling particularly like I want to hurt myself. Sit on the ground for 3 hours waiting for takeoff, waiting for even pushback clearance. But that will be one of the times where I fully fuel the 737, just in case. Or put a hideous amount of fuel into a 747, for that matter. How are you doing today, James, by the way? I think I forgot to ask. By the way, apologies for me stuffing my face. This is literally my dinner, and all I've had to eat so far today was a pot noodle. So I am quite hungry. Also, this is delicious and I want to eat it while it's hot. So coming in at the fuel levels I'd expected from the flight plan. That's all fine. We've got an 18 knot kind of taily crosswind kind of a thing going on. I'll need to get my landing info sorted fairly soon to do all my landing calculations. Gotta eat sometime. No time like when the food's hot. It's a real sorry not sorry situation because it's delicious. Like, sorry for eating on stream, but I do not regret this one bit because that is delicious. Any updates on 77 Maxes? You know, following it lately? The long and the short of it really is Boeing are in big trouble at the moment. They've not had any new orders from the Max since the entire debacle started. And, in fact, they've lost orders. All I know with the Max situation is it's not ending anytime soon. It's not nearing a resolution. They were saying that they're hoping to get the Maxes cleared again to fly by the end of this month. I think it's more likely that it'll be possibly towards the end of next month, even into October, before the Maxes are cleared to fly again. The knock-on effects are obviously Ryanair wanting to cut a butt ton of pilots and cabin crew due to the fact they haven't had any Maxes delivered. And a bit more pressing, Norwegian have stopped all services, all transatlantic services from Ireland that were intended to use the Max. So, more of a... Yeah, like, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Ryanair haven't gone over to the 320. Because it's a bit more efficient than a 7.3. Yeah, they need to retrain all their pilots and mechanics and whatnot, but long term it's probably more sustainable. It uses less fuel. I'm kind of surprised they haven't done that. Possibly because Aer Lingus uses the 320 and Ryanair hate Aer Lingus. But I mean, for definitely for transatlantic flights, because I know BA do this. 318. The Airbus 318. British Airways operates a flight from Heathrow to New York via Shannon. Heathrow operates a narrow body, medium-sized aircraft. It's actually quite small for a jet. Transatlantically, and has done for several years. But for some reason, the carriers all want to get the Max when they could, granted, maybe with a fuel stop in Shannon or Iceland or something, they could totally do it in like an Airbus A318. But they want the Max for passenger capacity, mainly. If you look up, what was it, BA002 is the 318 flight to New York. I think BA001 is the return. And those numbers are very important, because they used to be the Concorde numbers. It used to be Speedbird Concorde 1, Speedbird Concorde 2. Now it's just Speedbirds 1 and 2. In little Airbuses. Yeah, Airbus are absolutely delighted. As are airlines that are flying Airbuses, because the general public has a lot more trust in an Airbus at the moment than they do in a Boeing. Of any description. Like, you know, there's maybe a bit more trust in a Dreamliner, but they've not been without their problems. And 757, 6 and 7s have all had issues. 747's largely out of service now. 727's been out of service commercially for years. 717 was never viable. The 707 is an antique, and I wish it flew still. Boeing don't have any real planes that haven't had issues. Airbus, sure, there have been issues with the 320 when it was initially released, and well, it was the 300. But the issues have kind of gone away since. Boeing will have a lot more trouble trying to explain the issues with the A320 or with the 737 MAX. Excuse me? X-plane, do not crash now. That's minimum set. And there is the coast of Africa. I hope. Is it? What in the absolute hell? I think there's been a party in Kilimanjaro. They're all headed to Mauritius. So they might be flying over us. We might see this ridiculous queue of planes coming overhead. I was very lucky not to crash there sideways, yeah. I'm gonna guess the hang was trying to load in the all the planes. Here's my radar. Yeah, okay, thank you, Windows Update. The boys are inbound. Good grief. Speedbird 9, Mike Lima's involved. Which is at 747. What the hell? I have a confused. By the way, we're descending nicely. Let's get the seatbelt light on. Let's start getting landing info together here. Because I will need landing info. Performance, landing. Landing weight will be, or landing at, let's take off speed. Right. Landing weight will be 30600. And we'll be landing at HTDA. Hotel Tango Delta Alpha. Get airport and METAR, please. There we go. And we're planning to land runway 05. No headwind or tailwind. No wind at all. So we got our V speeds. Melt and mouth steak. Lovely. Nothing like a good steak. Right, we'll be landing. We'll approach flap 2, land flap 5. We'll have land flap 4. And our VREF gonna stay at 115. The VAP is going to be we'll say 117 plus 5. 123. Actually 122. VAC will be 139. And VFS should be 168. 168, fantastic. Verify, yeah, that's all fine. Magnificent, beautiful, delicious, and tasty. That's the wrong set of charts, Dave. Open charts list, taxi. Is there a real VIP area here in this? Terminal 1, Terminal 2, cargo, apron, GA apron. I mean, I guess we go to the GA apron. Can't manually knock the speed, so that's fine. I'm just gonna open up the cute scoop so I can see where the boys are. They're coming in from kind of this sort of angle. They're not dead on, but they're coming in from kind of over here. Planes now Mach 2 floating towards the ground. So are they available on the radar here at all? Yes. Sweet. It's going 317. Yeah, they're coming from kind of around here-ish. Actually, yeah. No, they're around here-ish. The first one is inbound. It's about I'm gonna say about 75-80 nautical miles out, so it's a decent bit away. The plane is vibrating again. Well, that's not ortho, is it? Clearly I don't have ortho for this specific spot. Or if I do, I forgot to actually load it in. Okay, we will put the lights on. Seatbelt signs. Oh, no smoking sign come back on. I'll take control of the speed. I want to get it down to about 220. I am keeping an eye out on the radar for the boys on the way in, because that is just comical. Okay, we got speed brakes out. So the spoiler's good. Going pretty well. Pulling out flaps 1 in a moment. Once we make the turn, fantastic. Coming down on path. Doing very well. We're on VNAV, so we don't actually need to change anything, which is great. Oops. Maximum immersion. I could imagine a pilot doing that as well. Even though they're not actually allowed to vape, but I could see somebody doing that, just like, oh, you got no smoking light on, you're not allowed to do the thing. Ha ha ha. Right, we are actually a small bit above profile here by the looks of it. Then again, it isn't above. So I need to set 1900 now for upvan. Looks like we're actually coming down an FPA. So the boys should be above the clouds, which you can't see them. Might be able to see a plane in a minute. Because we're going to fly directly underneath the plane train. Oh, they've got good spacing, actually. Oh, that's fantastic spacing. Except for these two Egypts. There's two that are basically on top of each other. You spill your Prosecco. That's fine, because we're coming on to our approach path now. There's the airport. Let's get our speed right down to 120 selected. the old speed brakes out. And I'm happy going flaps 1. See if we can spot any of the planes. No, it's not looking like we can. They're there. They're just not appearing. They're literally like they're less than 8 miles away is one of them. But he doesn't seem to want to appear. That's a bit of a shame. Where's east? Should be off in that direction somewhere. No, I'm not seeing him. Right. We'll take flaps 2 and 3 very quickly. Gear down. Auto throttle off. Auto throttle off. Autopilot off. Flaps full. Gear down 3 green, flaps coming down. Way above profile here, so let's just bring it down nice and quick. 1,000 feet, stabilized-ish. And we'll set missed approach altitude of 3,000.
Approaching 0-5.
Okay, we are actually stabilized now. We're on a full glide approach.
Minimums.
Minimums continue. Oh, thank you. There we go. Only slightly below a slope.
40, 30, 20, 10.
That was a really bad landing. Still going, but we're just about to finish. I forgot to turn on auto brakes. Manual braking. Reverser stowed. Alright, let's that was terrible and I apologize. Let's decide where to park here. Let's park over at the GA area will do. Oh, maybe it won't. I don't think we're fitting this plane down that taxiway. Yeah, no, we're not fitting this plane down that taxiway. That just ain't happening. Let's get the flaps up. Get the flaps up. Hang on. It's showing that it's in transit, but I'm not. Whoops. Well, they are. There's a terminal building. There should be a terminal building around here. This is default, yeah. I don't have any scenery for this airport specifically. Bear in mind that I'm using X-Vision, which is effectively like it's the explained version of Tomato Shade. We'll park up next to the very last Scandinavian Airways, shall we? Because he is, like, how did you get here, Scandinavian Airways MD-88? Like, seriously. Also, why are you parked up next to what looks to be a King Air? Also, Laura, that was actually my dad handing me a cup of tea, because it is now tea time, and a delicious Krispy Kreme donut. Oh yeah, this is default. There's the KC-135 over there. Do a bit of a front wheel drift here. Here we go. And parking brake can come on eventually when the brakes decide they want to. Parking brake. What? Have I disabled the parking brake? What the hell? Stop. I have an idea. Is the parking brake is refusing to engage? Perfect. Now will you engage? No! Well, we're only slightly inside of the building. Also, there's no fence between that road there and the apron. That's slightly very dangerous. Let's see if we can spot the British Airways plane that is making its way overhead. Oh, I saw something there. This does have an interior for some reason. You can see there it is. There's BA. I told you there were more planes. It's just barely visible at this range. I wasn't on the brakes, that was the thing. I think I found the problem. Let's get this down to cold and dark. Disable EPU gen, disable GPU, off. APU off. Cold and dark. Also, seatbelt light can now go off. Yeah, it's not having a heart attack anymore. I've disabled it. Yeah, this plane is derpy as all hell. It sometimes decides to work perfectly, it sometimes doesn't. But, today it decided to do about everything it's ever done, which is just be very weird in general. We landed, actually, that wasn't a terrible landing, as comical as it might seem. It was 1.1 G, which is, like, you'll feel a thump. You'll feel it, but you're not going to be hurt. Especially with the pitch at 13 degrees. That's going to be pushing back mainly on your back. But that is going to do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back Sunday, hopefully, with Project Hell. Until next time, stay safe. And I'm pretty sure I cut off my own goodbye. Goodbye.